So is money good or bad? That's a trick question because money itself is neither good nor bad. It's what you do with it that makes it good or bad. God tells us to be good stewards with the money He has given us. Being a steward means that while you don't own what you are managing, you still take care of it. Did you know there's a parable in the Bible that talks about this? A parable is a story that illustrates a truth, and Jesus often used them in His teaching. In the parable of the talents, Jesus describes 3 servants who were entrusted with money by their master while he would be away traveling. Go ahead and pause this video at this point and read the short story. You can find it in Matthew 25, verses 14 through 30. Once you've finished it, come back and we'll talk some more about it. Okay, finished? Great. The 2 faithful servants invested the money they'd been given, and the master was very pleased with the returns. However, the 3rd servant was fearful, so he just buried the money. This angered the master because at least he could have put the money in the bank where it would have had some interest and been safe. It's not spelled out in the Bible, but some popular commentaries suggest that this servant didn't put it in the bank because he was hopeful he might get to keep the money if the master didn't return, which might be why the master was angry and called him wicked. If it was at the bank, it would have been clear that it was owned by the master and simply being managed by the servant. Just something to think about. So what's the point of the parable? Well, actually there are several points. Here are just a few. First, we must use the resources we've been given in order to multiply their impact. Whatever we've been entrusted with, we should put it to work. We're not supposed to sit and do nothing like the 3rd guy did. 2, when you're a steward, you are a manager of someone else's property. You don't own it, but you tend to it as if it were your own. Stewardship comes with a high level of responsibility. 3rd, God rewards faithful stewardship. Just as the master who was pleased with the faithful servants rewarded them, God rewards us when we're faithful stewards of the resources that He's graciously given to us. I submit there's a stewardship cycle that generally goes like this. God entrusts, man responds. God rewards and entrusts more. What has God entrusted to you? Is it financial wealth or skill or ability? How can you best use the gifts He's entrusted to you for the benefit of others? You know, if you ask people if the government spends their money the right way, very few will say yes. Ask them about all the wrong ways government spends their tax dollars, and you'll get to hear a whole long list of grievances, regulations, waste, bureaucracy, social engineering, corruption, and on and on and on. Regardless of your political views, most people would say that generally speaking, the government is a bad steward of our money. Which leads me to my next question. How are you like the government when it comes to money? Ouch! Are you a good steward of the money you've been given? Do you spend your money carefully with the realization that it's really not yours? What if you had to give an account for how you spend your money? What areas would look wasteful? These are tough but important questions. Looking in the mirror is no fun at all. But if we're going to learn how to view money from God's perspective, we must be willing to take an honest evaluation of ourselves and our use of money.